Alright, today I want to talk about games in general. I think game companies are just ruining games now. And the big reason I'm thinking that, because now, back when it was like we go back to like the beginning 2000s or even back where more like there was like only games like Tetris and all that. Games were mostly to have fun and have a relaxing time. Nowadays, these companies make the games so competitive and all that, it kind of starts ruining it because it's like people just want to take a break from the real world, and it just gaming used to just feel like you could just have fun with it. Now it's a chore. And the reason it feels like a chore is because now everyone wants to keep up with it and they want to grind it because they don't want to miss things out because of exclusivity, or they don't want to fall behind because if they fall behind, then they'll have to be like always struggle because they just want to play the game, or they just have a certain amount of time to play it. But all these other people are playing so long that they keep getting they get to they just not have fun, and then they log off the game and not wanting to play anymore. But that falls, yes, it falls under maybe competitive and rank. But a lot of game companies do not really know how to do skill matchmaking. I mean, there's some companies that do, but a lot of times they don't, and it ends up putting them in wrong ranks that they should be. Like, new players are getting put with like sweats and they're getting destroyed, and then they want to play the game. What they should have been doing is sometimes they get put in games where, yes, there's like two sweats and then two that are like in the middle. They're not exactly their rank, but they're like in the middle of high rank and low rank. And then you got some other people that are your rank, so it'd be more balanced and it'd be interesting. And then once you start winning and then you start actually getting better, then you get put with more higher ranks. That's what they should kind of do, but their matchmaking is not the best. But at the time where you notice where the game companies are actually ruining the games the most is the quality of the game. For example, Call of Duty. Before, like Black Ops 1, 2, 3, World at War, the first bunch of Call of Duties, 4 was still okay. Ghost was bad. But the point is, and 6 was god awful. Black Ops 6 was god awful. The point is, if you keep making the games, therefore, the reason the first couple were good is because they spent a lot of time on them, and they were thinking about the players now. Now they're thinking only of the money, and the problem about them only thinking about the money and the business side, where yes, they'll get their sales up, they get their sales up and make more money. The problem is the consumer, which is us, the gamers, don't want to buy the game because it's so bad quality that they're rushing it out. For example, Payday 2 lasted 9 years, and a lot of people still kind of play it today. Once 3 came out, yes, people started playing it more, but when it first came out, it was so bad because they decided to rush it to get another game out instead of taking their time, asking the players, and a lot of players wanted to see more of the stuff that we already saw in Payday 2. They had the layout. They had everything they needed. They just needed to update the graphics, add some new maps and characters and guns, but everything else was pretty fine. But then they decided to throw it away to add a new system that the players despised, and then it ended up getting the game ruined. For example, we had X Define It. They were actually doing it really. They had everything the player wanted. They had the progression system they were adding. They had cross progression. They had a battle pass that actually worked well. They had some good rewards, and the maps were good. It played nice, and the problem is because the devs didn't know how to market it really, or keep it running, because they were listening to the community, but the problem was they should have added some of the stuff that the community suggested in the beta before the release, but then they couldn't keep the game open, so they shut that down. Same thing with Multiverse. Could have been a good game, but they just didn't play their cards right, and it got shut down. Some of the games that were really good, the devs just didn't play their cards right on, because some of the community got listened to, but a lot of it didn't, and then they got shut down, and then some of the choices they made were bad. So, for example, like, when, yes, Marvel Rivals doing good, but here's the thing about the problem with Marvel Rivals. They made a mistake. A big one. So, yes, they fired a team. There was only 6 people that helped them get the success, and then they're like, okay, we don't need that team anymore, so they let them go. I understand it's trying to save money and all. The problem about what they just did was those 6 people would have helped them more later on, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember, they were game designers, like, level designers, and it would have been nice to have those, because they make more of your maps. But now you let them go, and here's the downside. This is where the mistake happens. And I don't mean it's a bad thing they kind of let them go. The bad thing they let them go and laid them off is because now they have that thing where they have a good resume of working on a success game, which was Marvel Rivals. So now they are good at it, and now they could bring it somewhere else, and now Marvel Rivals is competing with Overwatch. Overwatch could be like, oh, they fired 6 good people. They could take them, and then they can make their game better than their game, and that makes trouble because then, well, obviously competition is good, but that's where the business part goes, because you're giving up 6 good people that worked and helped you with your game, and you're letting another company take them because they're gonna look for another job in the game, because they're good at development games, so they're gonna join another one. Even Killing Floor 3 could come in and be like, you guys are really good with your maps. Do you want to help us create maps for the Killing Floor game? And then they could be like, yeah, and then there you go. So when it comes to their choices, it kind of make bad decisions, because you gotta be careful who you let go, because if they helped you make a successful game, you shouldn't get rid of them. Like, some games, they got rid of people because obviously they didn't do a good job, which is fine. But if they're doing a good job to help you with your game, you shouldn't get rid of them. You should keep them. Especially, I think Marvel Rivals should kept them, because that would have been good to have that team, because the game's getting so popular. So it could have had some extra hands to make the levels. But another thing that kind of ruined the recent devs ruined the game industry is the microtransitions. Now, I understand free games, you need skins or you need DLC because you gotta pay for the game, because you're only getting money from skins and DLCs, because you have the game free and they're not paying for the game. The thing I dislike because of this now is they change how people think. They're like, the people that pay, like, for Call of Duty, charges like $60. Oh, people are buying battle passes and all that? Let's add those, but keep the entry fee. So basically you pay $70 and then you're paying extra for battle passes and skins in the shop. With games like those that are $70 or or if it costs money to play the game, should not really have those. The battle passes should be free, honestly, because you're making us pay for content already, like DLCs and the game when we first get it. So why would we want to pay extra for the battle passes if we get? So they have to decide. They have to make their choice. If they want battle passes and skins, they have to make their game free, because at this point, people are not going to buy it, because they're like, people are already on the defense, like, oh, should I buy this game? I don't know, I really want to play this game, but $70, I really don't want to spend $70. Okay, I'm going to spend $70, and then some of the other content is locked behind a paywall, and it's like, oh man, now I gotta spend more money. And I mean, cosmetics and skins were one thing, but Overwatch did it. Dead by Daylight does it a little. Well, Overwatch changed it. There was 4 when you couldn't really buy the heroes. You wouldn't get the heroes for free. You would have to buy them because they would be in the battle pass for some reason. It's crazy because you would get it instantly unlocked if you first buy the battle pass. But if you don't, you could earn it for free, but you have to be like tier 80. It was so bad how the system was working. When it comes to Dead by Daylight, yes, the DLCs are usually $6, but then if they're licensed, sometimes they're $11. But here comes the pay to win for them. The killers have abilities like Doctor and Doctor, the Assault Chapter, and all that. So you're basically locked in some of the things behind a paywall. But the game that does it the worst, in my opinion, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because you're paying $15, not for a bundle of a Survivor and a Killer like you do. You pay $10 in Dead by Daylight where you get the Survivor and Killer. You pay, or $6 and you get both of them. You pay $15 for a Survivor and a Killer separately. You can't even buy them in a bundle. So that's basically, you're spending $30 on them. And here's the thing, that's why it's pay to win and people don't really buy the skins in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, they're not skins, they're actually killers and survivors. They don't buy them because there's a lock system in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is only one person could play that character. Unlike Dead by Daylight, where you can have multiple of the same characters, so they could all use the new perks and all that. But they're locked, so you can only have one Leatherface, one what's her name? Other killers. You could have one of each, the cook and all that, and then the hitchhiker. You could have only one of them, and it's like I just put like $15 in for a killer or a survivor. And I get locked out because someone else is playing, which then it makes people dodge lobbies, and because they wanna play the thing they just bought, but basically a lot of times they won't play it for like the first day they buy it. They don't get to play it until the next day because people are trying to carry them. So that was a big mistake on them. So overall, I'm hoping the game industry changes because right now it's kind of a mess because you're charging overpriced games like Killing Floor and all that. And they're not even that good anymore. They used to be good quality games. For like a $30 game, Sunset Overdrive, Xbox One, a long time when it first came out, and even when it came to computer, it was still the same price, $30. That was a really well done game, Sunset Overdrive. Nowadays, like Call of Duty, it's god awful. And then even a few other games we had that we all waited for, like Death Garden, that was god awful. Multiverse again was good, but again, it wasn't the best quality, so it got shut down. That I was kind of concerned that Multiverse was going to shut down eventually, because it shut down once, then they reopened their game, and then they shut it down, this time permanently. So they had it closed, and then they reopened it, and then it closed. So overall, I'm hoping the devs actually start listening to the community more, start making more quality, because at the end of the day, yes, they're a business, they need to make money, but if they want to make money, they need to listen to the consumer, which is us, the gamers, to what we want in a game, because we're paying for it, not them really. Yes, they pay for it to make it, but they're not going to make their profit if we don't buy their game because we don't like it. So they have to listen more to us because we're the ones buying it. Overall, I hope it changes, because right now, the gaming industry, not the best quality stuff, but some of the games that come out look great. But a lot of the games that are coming out that look great now are single player ones. And a lot of the multiplayer ones are becoming live servers and all that. And that's another mistake because a lot of the live server games got shut down. But overall, I'm hoping we see the light of day for new games. I mean, like Marvel Rival. Yes, their skins are overpriced, but obviously it's a free game. But they're doing it right. They still need cross progression and a little tweaking on a little a little fist on their matchmaking, but overall, they did a really good job for a game that came out with less bugs and kind of polished like other games. So overall, hopefully some games could learn from Marvel Rival, not making them all the same, and we get good games. Overall, I hope they change their ways, and they probably won't, but all the gamers, all the people that play video games and buy them, we could all hope until next time, peace out.